Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today. I have another video to put in my Hidden Horrors playlist today alongside Enough with J-Lo that I just talked about right before this video. This review is for one in a 4-pack of movies here that I saw probably right around the time I watched Enough, about a month ago. And I loved it so much I asked my wife to get a copy of it for me for Valentine's Day, and she did. And it had to come in a 4-pack with, I've only watched one other of these movies, and it's great. It's a Kurt Russell pack of movies. Anyway, this film is from 1992. It is a Hidden Horrors recommendation from yours truly. It may be one that you listen to me about. It may be one you don't listen to me about. But let me tell you, it's great. It's really, really great. This film is called Unlawful Entry, starring Kurt Russell and Ray Liotta, my boy. Ray Liotta and Kurt Russell are two of my favorite actors of all time, easily in my top 10 of all time, alongside Jimmy Stewart, Jake Gyllenhaal. And let me tell you, by the way, I watched this movie right here, Executive Decision. Scared the hell out of me. If you have not seen that, you need to see it. Fucking terrifying, dude. Anyway, so Unlawful Entry right here. Number one, thank you to my wife, if she happens to watch this, for giving me this awesome 4-pack. This movie's basically out of print. You can't find it almost anywhere. I'm assuming it's on YouTube. I saw it on Tubi first when I watched it the other week, and I loved it so much I might rewatch it very soon because of the casting, because of the performances here, and how strong the writing is. This is a tense-filled thriller about, basically, Kurt Russell and his wife are pretty rich, and they have this beautiful home that they recently moved into, and there's been some kind of break-ins and stuff reported, like, kind of locally in that area. And a guy breaks in and holds the wife hostage with a knife to her throat, and Kurt Russell doesn't own a gun or anything, so he kind of panics. They manage to get this guy run out of the house, and they call the cops. And when the cops show up, one of them is Mr. Ray Liotta. And he immediately has this look in his face like, I want to bang your wife. And he tries his best to try to flirt with her, but try to seem kind of subtle about it, not too in their face about it. And weird things start to happen with this guy. He starts to seemingly cross boundaries. He seems to show up at places like Kurt Russell's local club that he's about to open up at one point. He gets a little too involved in their life. Even the next day after the burglary, when they have a burglar alarm installed on the house, he shows up with the recommendation on what company. He's telling them how to set their password and kind of lingers by so he can see the password number and stuff to make sure that, you know, Kurt Russell, not Russell Crowe, picks out a good number, something he can remember very easily. And he seems very trustworthy at first, but we as the audience can tell Ray Liotta is going to play Ray Liotta. He's one of those guys like Sam Jackson. He will always be a kind of corrupt, weirdo dude, and I love him for that, because he is kind of the biggest antagonist in this film, and he is wonderful. And watching him and Kurt Russell and that tension between them build over time, and this weird approach that Ray Liotta has to wanting to basically get with this dude's wife. As a married man myself, I'd be just like Kurt Russell in this film. I'd want to kill this guy, to be honest with you. Unlawful Entry may not seem like the biggest thrill of a movie by its recommendation I just told you. It seems more of like a marriage drama, if you will, and it does have that. But when it goes into those thriller aspects, which I would say is probably about 50-60% of the movie, dude, it is fantastic. My mom recommended this to me as well, and I thought it was fucking fantastic, to be honest with you. It just builds the tension so well, and it says it's about an hour and 50 minutes on IMDb, and there's really only one part of the film I remember being a little bit like, you could cut that out, or like kind of slow in one portion, but that's really it, maybe a 5-minute long scene. Aside from that, the tension is so great, the performances are so great, the directing, all of that is so wonderful for this film, especially the really strong character writing amongst Kurt Russell, the wife character, and Ray Liotta himself. All of this stuff is so strong that the pacing just zooms by. The movie feels so fluid and smooth and well done. In hindsight, it looks like a very 1990s movie. Very much. And this came out before I was born, so it has this whole look of movies that I never got to witness. And apparently this was a fairly decent hit when it came out. I've never heard of it until my mom recommended it to me recently, because she knew I'm a big Ray Liotta guy, and she knows I like Kurt Russell as well. This movie was so much better than it deserved to ever be. It's got kind of like this, you'll see it in box sets too, with like Lakeview Terrace, which I'm not a fan of, starring Sam Jackson actually. I just mentioned him a moment ago. I'm not a fan of Lakeview Terrace. As far as I'm concerned, that feels like a remake of this movie in a weird way, you know? But this movie kicks so much ass, and everybody, even down to side characters like Ray Liotta's partner that he works with in the police force, He's great. Everybody is really great in this film, and I can't recommend it enough. I can't stress enough how if you're into kind of thriller movies that have kind of a tinge of terror to them, because this could happen, this is totally up your alley. This is something I think most people would really enjoy if you like that 1990s thriller, or if you like something like Enough, which is a very different movie about abuse. Dude, you need to see this. Unlawful Entry kicks so much ass, and it's one of Kurt Russell and Ray Liotta's best movies, and getting to see them together on screen, which I never knew existed until now, or a month ago, I guess, when I saw it, that was a great treat. Mom, thank you, if you're watching this too. Unlawful Entry, please, for the love of God, check it out. It is a blast of a film if you love this kind of thing. And again, I think it's still on Tubi or whatever. I think that if you have the chance to see it, you really should check it out. It's a big, big recommendation for me. It's not a perfect film. It's not the greatest movie ever, but it's good as a thriller. A really great thriller to just enjoy and have for a good date night movie or whatever. Anyway, have you seen Unlawful Entry? What do you think about it? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and comments about it down below. And since it's part of the Hidden Horrors playlist on my channel, segment on my channel, whatever you want to call this, if you did take my recommendation and went and watched it, whatever I'm trying to say, and then came back here after my recommendation, tell me down below, what did you think about it? Did you like my recommendation? Did you like this movie in general? What did you think? I'd love to hear all of that down below too. If I had to rate Unlawful Entry on a 5-star basis, I think I can't go any lower than a really high 4 out of 5 stars. I recommend this so much. It's a great flick. Big, big recommendation for me if you haven't seen it before. Definitely an awesome one. Anyway, have you seen it? What do you think? Let me know everything down below once again. God bless you guys. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.